Hi, I'm Shimelle Laine. Thanks for joining me for another As It Happens scrapbooking video. So today I have found myself with a big pile of scraps. So I had a bunch of these left over from some projects I've been working on with my True Stories papers, yay. But I then have I have more full sheets, but I wanted to see if I could do something with just these scraps and then pulling some other scraps from just my basket of other papers. So I've pulled out, in addition to the True Story stuff, some older papers. These are from October Afternoon. Those two are from Travel Girl. I think that might be 5 and Dime. And this one I believe is an old Studio Calico paper. I think it was actually from a Christmas collection. Anyway, so I have all of these papers in just strips, and I wanted to work on a craft background with this 5x7 photo from a recent little adventure where we went to Portugal. So what I'm thinking is that I'm going to put this all the way over on the right hand side and build all these little strips into a block here. So I think I might just start building and see how we go. I'm not sure if I want to do something else with the same patterns somewhere else on the page, so I figured I might go ahead and save a little bit of the bit that's going to be behind that photo so that at least I have the flexibility to go back and do something else with it. And I was thinking if I start with the two that are the biggest, well, they're quite big pieces, but they're also, I didn't want the B side to those. So if I start with those and line them up at the top and the bottom of the photo, then I can build everything in the space in between and know that the top and bottom edges are in the right spot. Okay, so now I just want to fill this spot with all the different patterns. So some of these I think I want to use both sides. Definitely don't need that much of the cameras. Some of these are smaller print. So this one I only have a tiny little bit. You don't want the two blue polka dots together. Don't even really want the two polka dots together. I want something in between those. Okay, so this one I think needs to be cut into a few pieces. I'm going to take that travel log piece off the top and trim what's left then into two pieces so that I can use both sides. And I think some of these may look nicer with some ink to define those edges. I'm going to try, in theory, to not think about this too much. That's why I'm sticking straight away rather than building it all and then gluing. Let's see. There we go. Sorry, truth be told, I make strange little noises when I'm cutting paper, and if you tell me that you don't, I'm really not sure if I'm going to believe you, because I think it's an imperative part of the scrapbooking process that you make strange noises when you're trying to cut paper. It's just one of those things. I wanted to include this little strip. This is one of those little branding strips that you cut off the bottom of the paper. Because the photo that I'm using here is not in the rain. It's actually in gorgeous sun, complete with little sun flare on the photo and everything. But that was pretty much the only day we were there that it wasn't rainy. And we were in Portugal, and when you say to anyone in England that you're going to Portugal, they assume you're going to the sun. You're going to have this beautiful, beautiful beach holiday, and we went to the north of Portugal and it was very rainy. So I thought the raindrops would be suitable here, even though the photo itself is in the sun. And I quite like the rainbow, the rainbow of the raindrops, sorry, the raindrops for that, because it seems like if they're a rainbow, then it could be rain or shine. But that could just be crazy logic on my part, and if so, oh well. It won't be the first or the last time that happens. I can use that whole piece there. Let's try it. Why not? Take this. Oh, no, I don't want that blue, do I? Because the blue is already showing at the top. One of those I've not put on quite straight, so I'll just cover that with some others. Maybe this is where that blue polka dot needs to come in, but that's too big, so I'm just going to trim that down so it's a smaller size. I wasn't sure about the cameras there for a minute, but actually the cameras pulls this piece back in a bit better, so when I trim that down to a smaller piece so the cameras will fit. I think maybe a little bit of that polka dot, or actually maybe something brighter like that yellow. What else? Oops, sorry. What else do I have? In the yellow I have this, which is also a branding strip. I could pull that over. I like the wording to be over to this side here, I think. Cut that extra. I think this is probably enough now that I can attach the photo and look at how it's all going to fit together. So this photo is 5 by 7. Other little pieces that I wanted to bring in here. I like this little card that just says Travelogue, and thought I might bring that in just as it is without the rest. Because this is running off that side, I quite like it on this side of the paper, so I might tuck it here for now and see if that's where it will work best. And I also have this, which was a 4x6 card, but I'd used the bottom piece somewhere else. And I did want to show you, this is a 4x6 card with this on the back. It's a 12x12 cut apart sheet, so it has 4 4x6 and then the 4 3x4 across the middle. And the B side has these cameras. Now, I don't think that these cameras are going to come in useful on this particular layout, but I wanted you to know that it is lined up so that if you want just this phrase, you can still have this line of cameras here. So, in theory, let's do it and make sure that I'm not making that up. But there you go. So now I can cut close to this, and I can still have a whole set of cameras. You're not going to end up cutting through them. So I like little things like that and thought you might find it useful. I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of that down to the smaller size and see if there's anywhere it will fit on this layout. I'd like for it to go on this page if I can make it work. Maybe it goes here. Might need something else behind, and then I'll only end up with this little block here. These, the hearts and the little big yay, these are all cut with the, or well, not cut, all done with the letterpress plates that coordinate with the True Stories collection. Now, they are sold under the WeR Memory Keepers brand because they have all the letterpress plates, but they do match in style. And there's a little assumption that you need to have a whole big set of tools to use the plates because they sell a letterpress set of things to go with your die cutter. And the truth is that it may work easiest, or it may actually be best with that setup, but it's not the only way to use them. And I've done all of these with really basic, well, not basic, but I think supplies that many of you will have. Basic to me is scissors and glue. So it's a step up from that, but I've done it with my Big Shot, and I didn't use any fancy add-ons. So what I've used is that standard platform that comes with the Big Shot that has the 2 tabs. You can use tab 1 or tab 2 or put them together. And I didn't use a brayer. I just used a normal ink pad and the 2 cutting plates that I would normally use with my dies. That's all I used. So I've put the steps on my blog, and if you want to see how I use that, go ahead and click the link underneath this video if you're watching on YouTube so that you can see it all together in one post. But what happens is that if you use it without ink, you get the dry embossed effect, or you can use it with ink and you're going to get the dry embossed but then the ink in that. So I'm not explaining this very well, but there you go. It's that look that if I run my finger over it, I can actually feel that the paper is indented. So I've put the steps for that on my blog, but it's really simple. If you can die cut with the Big Shot, you can do this. So I'm sure it will work with other systems too, but the Big Shot is what I have. I've punched this one into a circle, and I'm thinking maybe with some brown ink it might look like it matches. And then I thought I might use the big yay in a strip, so I'll cut that down to a rectangle. Just adding these on that left side here. And then want to build in something here, and I think maybe some stickers might work, because I have little smaller word stickers. Let's see if there's anything here that would make sense. I wouldn't mind something maybe over here that brings that red in. Let's see if I have any red stickers that would be the right kind of size. I might bring in this red flower that's the same flower here. Bring it over here. I want to do something to highlight the 12 because I've tried when I use these different ruler motifs to mark the number of months old he is in the picture, if it makes sense. So I think that will work, but I might do that with some pop dots. I thought maybe if I bring this turquoise down here a little bit as well, might help to tie all this together with all these different shades of aqua. I think I'll use my pen to just circle that 12 and then go ahead and add that flower, and then maybe work on that travelogue bit up there at the top to see what is going to make this area work. I think I'd like some sort of border that goes across here at the top and the bottom, but I didn't want to just add more paper because there's already so many strips of paper. So I thought I'd bring in some stamps and pulled out the Travel Girl stamp set, which has the word explore in 2 different stamps, one that's solid and one that's outlined. So normally I would use those together and do a lighter color for the solid and the darker color for the outline. But I thought I could use it a little bit differently here and do the outline at the top of the page so that it feels lighter, and then use the solid at the bottom so that it feels darker, a bit like a gradient or a grounding line. So we'll try that and see if it works. If not, then I'll end up needing some sort of paper to cover it up. That's not the end of the world. So there's the lighter version. And then I don't want to try to line them up so that they exactly match top to bottom. So I was just making sure that I started in a slightly different place in the word at the bottom of the page than at the top. And then just stamping all the way across. I haven't worked with a craft background for a while because I tend to do travel layouts on craft, but it's not an actual rule. I just have this one album. Well, it's a very big set of albums now, but from one trip where I started using craft for all the backgrounds, and now I've done so many of those pages that it just feels to me that craft is for travel. Sorry, I feel like this needs way more glue. It's really heavy watercolor paper, so it's just curling up a little bit. So yeah, I when I had this photo, I thought actually it'd be nice to bring the craft onto my desk again, I guess is what I was thinking, that I hadn't used it in a while. I keep thinking this is something stuck to the layout, and it's not. It's actually part of the design. I don't know why I keep thinking it's a bit of thread. Okay, so this up here now, but that still looks a bit plain, and what it's needing is that red again. I need something red up there at the top. I do have that heart that could match. Where's my little punched heart? Because originally I thought this might go down here, but I actually think it's too many things. It's too big. It's a little bit too lacking in color, and I don't really want it. I like this photo without anything over the top at the moment, so I don't really want to add it down there. Anyway, it's not calling to me at the bottom of the page like I thought it might. So maybe I move it up here, and I have a red heart sticker that I could pair with it with the pop dots. And then I wouldn't need that whole piece on show. I think part of it is because I've used quite a big circle punch, and it's made this heart shape that isn't really all that big. It's just made it a lot bigger. And I could go back and cut it out, but I'm not convinced that that's the right thing either. So I'm thinking this might work to overlap them. And then I could tuck it underneath here. And that starts to make me a little bit happier there. Okay, so I can go ahead and put all this down. Oh, and this is that watercolor paper again, so plenty of glue. And then maybe I need a little bit of turquoise up here too. Except my words that are on the turquoise are not a huge match there to the story I'm trying to tell. What about turquoise that I have left in here? This one will work. So I have I do think I like this better tucked in. So I just need to get it in just the right spot. There we go. Okay. Then I'm thinking journaling. I'm just trying to decide if I want to journal up here or down here, or maybe I start up here and if I need more room I write down here. And do I want another title in addition to all these words? Decisions, decisions! If I start adding that gold in at the top, I automatically thought, you know, this would make the heart on the circle, would just give it a little bit more sense to my mind. So I'm going to pull in the gold with this little globe rub-on. And I'm not worried about that pop dot because I'm going to put the heart back. I just wanted to add the globe into the mix here. And I think I want it, do I want that to go over the strip? I don't. I'm going to go ahead and cut that straight. So that it looks like that is tucked in as well, even though it's not. Just find my lolly stick to put the rub-on down with. Okay. And then I'll just put the heart back on top. Should be easy enough. I just thought that might pull it all together, that I have the heart shapes, but the reason that that heart is on a circle is that it goes with the globe. And then I also have these little geotags, including one that's gold and has a heart instead of a circle. So I think it might all pull together. Miss any other pieces? Yes. Okay, finally. Go. So the geotag with the heart is this little Heidi Swap gold foil piece. Just wondering where the best place would be for it to go, and I think maybe down here, but it'd be nice if I join these two up. I also have this one with a geotag. I'm not sure if I use that or not, but I thought I would pull it out in case. And then I have the little heart from, I think that's as good a place as any. So that's just the negative there. Might as well use both. And see what other little bits and pieces would work well. I could definitely stop embellishing at this point, but I kind of just thought that this was working out well as a page with a whole bunch of embellishment, so I might just carry on. Not sure about that. Do I want it the other way? No. Would I like it better if it was up here in this grouping? I think so. And maybe use these little map stars, a little bit like how I often use enamel dots and use them so they are kind of forming little confetti-like triangles around the page. keep wondering if I want to bring anything over here, and I actually, so far I'm wanting to stick to this side of this page staying plain and just embellishing this side. I think what I want to do here is, since I have the geotag here, I want to spell out the destination, and then I'll add the star to frame that. I've tried to make the balance on these letter stickers, so because they have two colors here, but I've tried to make it so that you can spell things all in one color if that's what you want, or you can mix it up. Now obviously once you've spelt a few things, like now I've used both of my aqua O's, but it was possible to spell that all in one color. Little things like that I find useful, but there we go. I could be bonkers. If I am, please just, keep it to yourself. It's fine. I am now feeling like this is quite trapped. I might bring this just down here a little bit to connect to the journaling. I feel like I need something in here that's a little bit delicate, so maybe these stickers or the gold rub-ons again. So that adventure word actually could work. Or that discover. Oh, I like the color of the discover, and I already have some gold there. So I'm not sure how old these are. These are a Heidi Swap sticker set that I've had for quite some time, so I don't know if they're still available. Sorry. But that probably means that I should use them. And not just let them get dusty in my stash any longer. Teeny tiny dot for an eye. I think adventure here as well is way too much, but I thought maybe bring in that heart. So now I have the hearts framed that way. With this tiny little heart here. There we go. And maybe, I think these chipboard hearts are probably too much now, but the sequins might work quite well. I'd like something that just carries this vertical. Get these in the right place. And then I'll go ahead and stick them down. Very nearly done at this point. I just wanted to add a little bit of gold mist to follow that line that I made with the sequins. And I think I may add some stitching to the sequins on my sewing machine, but I won't show that. I won't do that on the camera. And so we'll see. I think just a little bit of, just a few little stitches on each one, so once the mist is dry. And then because this was over here, I was just contemplating putting it here and deciding if that's too much, too random. I think it's just one too many things. I had pulled it out because it's wood veneer, so it has that same kind of idea as the wood grain paper and sequins, but I think it's just enough different that it doesn't work. It detracts rather than helping things. It adds too much to the chaos. So aside from the little stitches, that's where I'm going to stop. And I do realize this doesn't have a completely obvious title, but it has a lot of words. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that, and I'm alright with it not having a particular title, because that's not hugely important. Thanks so much for watching the video today, and I would love for you to subscribe if you want to see more videos. Just go ahead and click that button. Or if you want to keep watching, you can click to watch another video that you might like. This one's a travel page if you're interested in that. And if you would like to see something a little more in depth, I have 2 recent courses that you can check out at Shimelle.com. One's an audio course over at Paper Clipping with Noelle and Izzy, and then a video course at Shimelle.com that's just me and my True Stories collection. So I'd love for you to pop over to the blog and check that out, or anything else. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.